We all know it's very important when you're buying a house to have a home inspection. And a home inspection looks at the mechanics of the house. It looks at the wiring and the plumbing. It might look at the roof. You might have an inspection for mold. But there are two documents that are really not talked about in the home buying and selling process that you should really, really be aware of and have in your arsenal. Hi, my name is Carolyn Shabaro, and I am a realtor here in South Florida. I've been in the industry here in South Florida for over 20 years, and there's one thing that I have learned. The more you know, the better the whole transaction flows, because it can be a very stressful time of your life. So, as I said before, there are two documents that are really, really important to the whole process. It makes the whole transaction very transparent. Now, sadly, here in the state of Florida, these documents are not required, but I always promote using them. And the first of those documents is a seller's disclosure. A seller's disclosure is normally several pages in length, and it is presented, or it should be presented, to the seller at the time when the property is put on the market for sale. It's just one of those documents that you have to fill in. But it asks you, the seller, about the property, asks specific questions, and you can answer yes, no, don't know. Let me give you an example of some of those questions. For example, does the home have aluminum wiring? Has the home been ever treated for termites? Has the property ever flooded? Has there ever been a fire? Are there any septic tanks, drain fields, or wells that are not currently being used located on the property? And one of those questions could be, to your knowledge, is the roof structurally sound and free from leaks? And that's just some of the questions that you would answer, but it keeps everything above board. So I highly recommend a seller completing this document. And also, if you don't know, that's fine. You can express that, you can say that, but get everything out in the open. The seller's disclosure should be presented to the buyer when the contract is being presented for sale. And it just allows the buyer, before they start the process, to be aware of the home, all the positives, all the negatives, all the things that might need to be done. Because at the end of the day, from your point of view as a seller, this saves you time, energy, and money. And also from the buying point of view, it saves you time, energy, and money. Both parties know what they're walking into. So seller's disclosure is really, really important. If you're working with a realtor, make sure you request one. The walkthrough document is the final document that you will sign off on after visually walking through and physically walking through the property. You will make sure that the appliances are the same that you agreed to purchase and that the repairs have been done. And you diligently walk through and test everything. Make sure that when you turn on the tap at the sink, there's no water underneath. Make sure that the stove works, the oven works, that the refrigerator, if there's an ice maker, that there's ice. Make sure that the heating works and the air conditioning works if you're in that environment. Make sure all the repairs have been done, and the walkthrough document allows you to do that because there's a lot that goes on. So just focus on to the walkthrough document. Make sure that everything is functioning, that the repairs have been done, and then sign off on this document, both the buyer and the seller. Of course, if you find that something has not been corrected or that something's been swapped out, a Hotpoint refrigerator for an Amana refrigerator, well, then you have every right to stop the whole process. But normally that doesn't happen. Maybe I've seen this happen once or twice in my 22 years. But keep this document, scan it, put it into a cloud, because you never know when you might need it. Both these documents, both the seller's disclosure, the walkthrough document, combined with the inspection, prevents the buyer from coming back to the seller. So you can see that it's making everything transparent. It makes, it levels the playing field, and it keeps everything above board. So I highly recommend, while it is not required by law here in the state of Florida, it might be in your neck of the woods, request a seller's disclosure and request a walkthrough document in addition to everything else. Well, if you have enjoyed this video, if you've learned something, please give it the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, pass it on to your friends and family that might be moving or selling their home. As I said previously, the purpose is just to educate you, to keep you aware of all that you need to know when you're buying and selling a home. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment box below. And until my next video, I wish everyone a good day. Toodles.